Welcome guys to Say I'm Busy Made It Easy once again. We are continuing our series on sets, and today we are going to look at multiplication of sets. This is when two or more sets are multiplying themselves. How do we do it? So in case maybe you have been given root 2 times root 4, how do we do it? This will multiply this, and a single root like this always have 1 in front of them. So 1 times 1 will still give you 1. So this one, root 4, most of the time people also give them common set, but common root like this. Then you multiply, then you get root 8. But the root 8 can be simplified again to give you root 4 times root 2. So this one will give you 2 root 2 as the answer. So basically this is how we multiply the root. But when you get to a point that there's a number in front, maybe you've gotten 2 root 2 times maybe 3 root 3. And you are multiplying. The front number will multiply the front number. Then the one in the root will also multiply itself. So 2 times 3 will give you 6. Then the root 2 multiplied with 3 will also give you root 6 as the final answer. So basically today this is what we are going to look at. So let's take our first question on this. So we have to multiply root 48 by root 80. As the rule goes, 1 perfect square times another number. And the perfect square that will multiply another number to give you 48 is 16. So root 16 times root 3. Then this one will give us root 16 times root 5. Root 16 times root 5. So now root 16, we know it will give us 4 root 3 here times root 16 here to give us 4 root 5. They are multiplying. So if they are multiplying the front number by the front number, then the inside root times the other one. So we have so many ways in doing it. So you can put them in bracket, then you multiply 4 by 4, then you multiply root 3 by root 5. Then 4 times 4 will give you 16. Then 3 times 5 will give you root 15. So in some books, they don't come to this step, they just come straight to the answer. And the meaning is the front number by the front number, then the one in the root by the one in the root. So this is how this question is being simplified. And this is not a number we can break down to get a simple root. So we leave 15 like that. So let's take another question. So root 54 times root 125. The perfect square, this one will give us root 9 times root 6. Then 125 will give us root 25 by root 5. The square root of 9 giving us 3. Root 6 times square root of 25, 5, root 5. Once again, we multiply the front numbers. So 3 times 5 times root 6 times root 5. 3, 5, 15, then root 6 times root 30. Root 5 will give us root 30. Now, can we get any number to multiply to give us root 30? The answer is no. There's no perfect square in any number that will multiply to give you root 30. So we leave the answer at 50 root 30. So this is how this is solved. Let's take another question. So this question, root 2 bracket open, root 8 minus 2 over root 8 bracket close. They are multiplying. This is not scary. So this multiplies this, then this will also multiply this. So as I said earlier, this will multiply root 8, then minus 2 over root 8. This is not scary. The one in the root will multiply the one in the root. So here, we are going to get root 16 minus, now when root 2 multiplies 2, we are going to get 2 root 2 all over root 8. The reason being that every whole number is over 1. And anytime you are multiplying a fraction like this, You multiply numerator by numerator by denominator. So this one will give you 2 over 8. And this gives you 2 over 8. This means that this number will only multiply the numerator. That's the reason why. This will only multiply the numerator. So this is not in root. If it is in root, the answer will be in root. But this is a number. Yes, and in root always the numbers are in front. So this one will give you 2 root 2 all over root 8. And we know root 16 is 4 minus now 2 root 2. We can break this one down to root 4 times root 2. So now we have 4 minus 2 root 2 all over, then this one too will give us 2 root 2. So now we have 4 minus 2 root 2, 2 root 2 divided. So this 1, 1, this cancel cross out, this 1, 1, 1. So all this will give you 1. So 4 minus 1 will give us 3. So this is how we simplify this root. So this will multiply this minus, then you simplify, then you get your answer. Let's take another question on this. So as we know in example C, so root 3 will multiply root 12 to give you root 36 plus root 3 times 3 will give you 3 root 3 all over root 12. So square root of 36 is 6 plus 3 root 3 all over. Now we break this down, then we get root 4 times root 3. Then we move on. So 6 plus 3 root 3 all over 2 root 3. Now what do we have here? We have 6 plus root 3 will cancel. They are like. So this will take this. So we have 3 over root 2. Now we have gotten a fraction. We have to simplify. We have gotten a fraction. So this over 1. The LCM for 2 and 1 is 2. 1 will go here 2. 2, 6 is 12. 2 will go here 1. 1 times 3 is 3. Now we get 12 plus 3, which is 15, all over 2. So 2, so this is not simplified. So 2 will go into 15 7 times. Remainder 1, all over 2. So to simplify means to the lowest term. So this is going to be our final answer. Don't be surprised fraction has come inside. Now addition and subtraction of fraction, if you don't understand this, there's a video on board maths. You can watch my video to get how to add or subtract fraction. So this is how this question is solved. So let's move on to another question. So this is another one. This is not a single set. There's a single set. There's a number in front of it. So always the one in the root multiply the one in the root. So root 7 times 3 root 7. This one is going to give you 3 root 49. Because 7 is 49. Then plus 7 root 7 times 6 will give you 6 root 7 all over root 7. Now 3 will multiply 7. Why? Because we have simplified this with 49 to 7. 7 times 7 is 49. So we square root of it. And when you get that, they will multiply. Plus. Now 6 root 7 all over root 7. So 3 7 is 21 plus this will cross out this. They are like root. So they will cancel out. So what is left here? 6. So now our final answer is going to be 27. Yes, very interesting. Set is very, very interesting if you know what you are doing. So let's take the last question on this. Yes, so 2 brackets of sets multiplying another bracket. This one we apply the principle of binomial expansion. That will be a topic I'll teach under factorization. But before that, let me give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Now, binomial expansion, when 2 binomials are multiplying, 2 brackets multiplying. So the principle says that if you have A plus B multiplying C plus D, it means pick the A, then you need to multiply this bracket C plus D. Then come and pick the b. You need to multiply c plus d. So a times c will give you ac times this one ad plus this one bc plus bd. When you check and they are like terms, you group them, they add. That's what binomial expansion talks about. And we are going to apply that principle here. So this one, you pick root 6. You need to multiply this. Then you pick minus root 2. Then you take it to multiply this. Then you follow the principle of this. So now let's start work. So root 6 will multiply 6 plus 3 root 2. Then the sign here minus root 2 will multiply 6 plus 3 another root 2. So this is how we open the bracket step by step. Now root 6 times 6 will give you 6 root 6 plus root 6 times 3 root 2 will give us 3 root 12. Why? This number is in front, there's no number in front, we assume there's 1. The numbers in the root are the one that multiplies. So 6 times 2 gives you root 12. Now minus, now root 2 times 6. This one will give you 6 root 2. Now negative meeting positive will be negative. Remember that. Negative multiplying positive is negative. The only time it becomes positive is when negative is multiplying positive. When students are opening brackets, sometimes it becomes a problem. So always check the sign very, very carefully. Be careful with the sign. Now we come here, root 2 times 3 root 2 give you 3 root 4. 3 root 4. Now we have 6 root 6. We can simplify this. Plus 3, but this one can be simplified as root 4 times root 3. Then you bring this one, minus 6 root 2 minus 3 times 2. Square root of 4 is 2. And this one will multiply. Follow me closely and you get it. Now we have 6 root 6. Yes, so in case, let me quickly go over this. Now 6 root 6 is here. Plus 3, 12 can be simplified. So we get root 4 times root 3, which will give you this. Then minus 6 root 2 minus 3, square root of 4 is 2. That's why here is in bracket. Now we have 3 times 2 here, all root 3. Because this times square root of 4 is also 2. Root 3 minus 6 root 2 minus 6. So 6 root 6 plus 6 root 3 minus 6 root 2 minus 6. Now do we have any like root? This is not like, this is not like, and this is not like. So this is likely going to be our answer. Assuming yes, root 3, root 3, root 3. You group them, then you simplify. So now our final answer is going to be 6 root 6 plus 6 root 3 minus 6 root 2 minus 6. So this is going to be our final answer. And this brings us to the end of the multiplication of Z. There will be a last part on Z where we are going to rationalize their denominator. Follow this channel. The only channel is Amphia. The only channel will make mathematics fun and recommend to all your students, anybody at all, to have a benefit of it. Till we meet again, we say goodbye for now.